What's up, universe? It's 9:42 a.m. Central Time on Thursday, October 19th, 2023. A couple different inspirations for this video, and so it might be a bit of a rabbit trail. So I'm just gonna say thank you for staying with me on this here for a minute. Just a couple of things that like, first I guess I want to speak to, Mac commented on my video from the other day where I looked tired. Maybe it was the one from yesterday, and I was exhausted yesterday, even though I had gotten a decent night's sleep the night before. So like 2 nights ago now, it was pretty cold. It got down to like 39 or 40 degrees outside, and it's a little difficult, at least for me, to get some good sleep when it's that chilly out. I've got, it's kind of cold being directly out in the elements. So I definitely feel for people that, that are living this way. When it's in the 50s, it's much more manageable. You get down to like low 40s, high 30s. It's pretty cold. It's not like it was camping when I was in Boy Scouts. I had a tent and a sleeping bag. Being directly out in the elements, it's a little bit different story. So there's a different appreciation for that. So I just wanted to speak to that. I was Mac. I was flipping exhausted. I was absolutely tired. So there's that. And then I have applied for another role here recently, something that just kind of randomly came up. I was on Indeed and looking for stuff, and a role for a company that I never heard of came up, and it's in the medical field. And I've worked for a managed IT service provider that did outpatient surgery centers and stuff like that, so I have some background supporting that type of arena, the healthcare arena. And so I checked out the company, and it's highly rated, as far as people enjoying their work there. And there were 2 open positions, and one of them I was like, I know I can probably do that one, it's in alignment with what I've done before, and at the same time, just because I had the previous experience, it wasn't the kind of role that I really wanted to do. And then there was a second role that is more kind of like this, in alignment with what I've applied for, in some of these other jobs. And so I went ahead and applied for that one. And I know that they looked at my application yesterday because LinkedIn told me, so I haven't heard anything back, but we'll see. The reason I'm bringing this up is that not only just to kind of share with you, where I've been applying, but interestingly, so that was a couple days ago that I applied for that job. We're gonna say like Monday? I think it was Monday I applied. So then last night I had a dream. I had like 2 different kinds of dreams, right? Like 2 different parts of a dream. One part of the dream was like where I was just an observer. There was 3 other guys. This branch had fallen over like this river, and these 2 guys helped this other 3rd guy like up on the branch. Like it was kind of tall enough to where like they needed to lift him up. So this 3rd guy was on the branch, and there was like a beaver in the river that had built his home. And it's not like the beaver was in danger or anything, but this 3rd guy that was on the branch, for some reason, I don't know why, was going to, was attempting to reach the beaver, right? Well, something had happened, and basically the beaver's home and the beaver like washed away down the river. And I didn't feel like anything negative about this. I don't think anything bad happened to the beaver. There wasn't any like malintent by anybody, but that's what happened. And then in another part of the dream, like I was in the back of like an ambulance or an EMT truck. It's what it reminded me of. And there was like this big cat, not like a domesticated cat, but like a wild cat. I don't know what type of wild cat, but it was a large cat. And this cat was like, we were snuggled up, like it was leaning up against me. It was like loving me and protecting me, right? And then there was a dog, a big dog, about the same size as this big cat, right? And this dog was trying to like check me out, and the cat wasn't letting it happen, you know, like it wasn't being aggressive, but it was just kind of like shielding me, you know, from this dog. And that's basically the dreams that I remember, right? So I asked ChatGPT, you know, I was like, hey, like I had these dreams, like pretend you're a dream interpreter, like tell me what you think, right? And I'll share it with you. And it says, the branch over the river, trees and dreams often symbolize growth, stability, and grounding. The fact that this branch is over a river may represent the flow of emotions or life experiences. The fallen branch could suggest a disruptive or unsteady aspect of your life. It said, men interacting with the beaver. The 3 men attempting to reach the beaver could symbolize different aspects of yourself or people in your life. Beavers are known for their industrious and building skills. The beaver's home being washed away may indicate some sense of impermanence or disruption in something you've been building or working on. And then 3, the lack of negative feelings. Your lack of negative emotions in response to the beaver's home being washed away may... Your lack of negative emotions in response to the beaver's home being washed away suggests that you might be adaptable and able to cope with changes or setbacks without significant distress. And then, you know, interpreted the second part of the dream. It says, large wild cat. Wild animals and dreams can symbolize untamed or primal aspects of your personality or emotions. The cat, being protective and loving towards you, could represent a need for self-care and protection in your waking life. The large dog. Dogs are often associated with loyalty and companionship. The dog's desire to check you out might signify curiosity or a need for connection. The cat's protective behavior could be a reflection of your subconscious desire for emotional security. It says, overall, the dream might be reflecting your feelings of observation and detachment in some situations, and a sense of adaptability to change, and the need for emotional protection and security. It could also be a reflection of your inner conflict between your wild, untamed aspects, the cat, and your more loyal, domesticated side, the dog. Consider how these elements resonate with your current life circumstances and emotions to gain more of a personalized understanding of the dream's meaning. I just found it interesting, because then the reason this is all interesting, right? The job, the dream, and then like this morning, I'm on TikTok and just checking some stuff out. And one of the first things that I run into is a content creator that I've never run into. And this woman is a painter, she's an artist, she's also an EMT, right? And I was like, this is just strange, right? It's just weird in the sense, the reason I could say it's weird and strange is because the job that came up where I was at in the dream with the cat and the dog, you know, in the EMT kind of a truck, and then there's this content creator, right? You know, and the content creator and I kind of connected, like we commented on each other's videos, looked at each other's profiles, like she was responding to some of my stuff like in real time, like this morning. So like there was some type of like real time connection happening, and I was just kind of like, what's going on here, right? So again, that's a triplicate, right? Things happen in threes, kind of a thing. So I don't know what to make it mean, you know, if anything. I'm just noting its peculiarity and curiosity to me right here, just sharing it. So that's where I'm at. Another thing to share is that one of the guys that I've interacted with in one of the Telegram groups sent me a link last night regarding the W8BEN. This particular video I haven't watched entirely, and it looks, I'm interested to watch it. It's about an hour long, maybe an hour and 10 minutes long, and it is from a woman who I think is on the HR side of things, or the payroll side of things, maybe HR. Anyway, she's on the business side, and she talks about the W8BEN, and she talks about it in the context in which I would be using it, you know, with the state national type of stuff. And I did check it out, and it looks like, you know, she gives some, you know, ideas on how to fill it out and things like that, and it makes me wonder if I should go back and like redo my W8BEN, which I may do. And just as an aside, I have not heard anything back from my employer regarding the W8BEN. I did check out my online pay stub for the check that I'll get tomorrow, and taxes are still being withheld. So that's this is a question here. So I haven't registered necessarily. I wouldn't say registered, because again, when language comes up, we got to be careful with like what everything means. So there's not a registration as a state national, but in the context of what I'm talking about here, to address this question, I have sent in my revocation of election to the IRS to elect to not pay taxes and to have my status changed from a taxpayer to a non-taxpayer. And then I've submitted a W-8B into my current employer as my tax form so that they know not to withhold taxes and to let them know what my relationship is. And so I have on my I-9 stated that I am, and I have to go back and look, but there's like the second option. It's like a non-resident alien, if I remember right, of the United States. It's not the first one. Basically, I'm stating that I'm not a U.S. citizen and that I don't reside within the United States. And there's language, there's reasons why that's true. And I know how that sounds for people that are unfamiliar with this kind of process. But anyway, that's to answer the question. Yeah. So yeah, back to the video there. So yeah, I'm excited to check that out and at least get the back side or the back end, the business side of what they're looking for, and how they treat it, and like what the business aspect is. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. So I appreciate the gentleman sending me that link last night. So let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. Otherwise I'll just kind of be rambling here, but those are the inspirations for this video. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, thanks for watching and thanks for interacting. I work really well on question and answers here. Let's see. Oh, do I have a patent on the... No, I don't have a patent on the paperwork that I submitted. What I did is, there's a couple different ways, like about three different ways that I've seen or heard people submit their revocation of election to the IRS. And one is through a Form 56. There's an IRS Form 56 that I've heard people use and submit that changes their tax status. Then I've heard of some people just writing like a letter that they get notarized as like an affidavit and sent that off to the IRS. I found, went through my online searching, that like kind of a packet, so to speak, that had like 3 pieces to it. There was basically like it's a IRS Form 56, so not 456, just Form 56, so 56. But the thing that I found had 3 pieces to it. There's basically like a letter of intent, and then there's like an affidavit, which is the second part, and then there's supporting evidence, which is like, there's like 100 different things or 100 different reasons or examples in that supporting evidence as to why, you know, we shouldn't, that we're not, most of us, I should say, are not, beholden to income tax. Now, if you're a federal employee, you work for the United States government. If you're a state employee, you work for the state, you know, that's kind of different. Yeah, links, there's, I suppose, yeah, once I'm done with this, I can actually edit the description of this Instagram, and I can put the links in my description of this video. I'll include the links of the 3 documents that I actually, yeah, there's a limit, there's a character limit. I was going to say there's other videos too that I can link to that kind of go through the revocation of election. If nothing else, I'll put the 3 links to the documents in the description of this video, so should be able to fit that in there within the character limit. So I'll do that. With the language there, the difference basically is that, like, with the United States, because there's a difference between like United States of America, and this kind of a thing. So the United States, and this goes back to like 1871 with like, I forget the 3rd session of Congress. I forget. The United States was formed as like a corporation, and has its own authority within the District of Columbia and within 10 miles of that. And then, so if you're a federal like employee, and if you reside within the United States, like basically if you say that you are a U.S. resident, you're saying that you domicile within Washington, D.C., basically. And I'm going to fumble some of the language here and some of the ideas around it. But the basic idea of like asserting that, hey, I'm not I'm not this, I'm not what I have claimed to be before. Basically, we contract into these things like unwittingly because the language that's used, it's pretty tricky. It seems strange even to talk about it in the sense of like, wait, what do you mean you're not a U.S. citizen, or that you don't reside within the United States? So if you actually work for the federal government, then it's a different thing. Like, then you are like a federal employee. So those taxes would apply to you as such. That if you're just how do I want to say? Yeah, I appreciate that you know what I mean. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, I'll probably fumble it. I want to get better at explaining this, so I appreciate this kind of like interaction, because speaking about it in an intelligible fashion is something that I'm going to need to be able to do anyway, so I'm okay with fumbling it right now. But yeah, that's the basic kind of idea in a way. And if I had more time and kind of could prepare like an answer instead of doing it off the cuff, then I'd be able to explain it better. But there we go. That's my very, very rough draft of off the cuff. So, all right. Again, yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions. I appreciate it. Thanks for the interaction. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I will chat with you later. I'll put the links in the description here, so I'll edit that and send that out so you guys can take a look. All right. I would definitely recommend, if you're curious, checking out the supplemental information, like the 100 reasons, because if there's any questions about like what I've just said, like that supplemental information will really give you some meat to chew on, some interesting stuff to check out and just even research and look at. It's pretty fun. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.